Welcome to this episode of Speak with Scoundrel. This is where I answer questions directly from you, the viewer, on any concern or challenge that you're going through in your life right now. So if you are interested in asking a question, send me an email to info@thesophisticatedscoundrel.com and just keep it to a page, but give me enough details so I know what's going on. And I may select your email to answer in a video just like this one. So today's question is from a man who just simply asked, how do I stay interesting so a girl doesn't end up cheating on me? Great question. And the first thing that I want to say about this is that you should never be living your life worried that somebody's going to cheat on you. My philosophy is this: if someone really wants to cheat, they're going to cheat. Then let them show their true colors and you move on. Now, this doesn't mean that you allow people to treat you in certain ways, but you have to realize that you can't control other people. Now, you could influence people, but you can't control what they're going to do. If she's a cheater, and if you're a cheater, at the end of the day, they're just going to do what they need to do. But if you're asking how to stay interesting, you need to have your own life mission and purpose. And I talk about this all the time, because if you have a life mission and purpose that gives you things to talk about, it gives you a level of expertise. And I'm going to give you a very simple example. I'll use myself as an example. I, by trade, am a filmmaker. I'm a director. So I do commercials, films, done a couple music videos here and there. But what this does is it allows me to have something going on. And yes, being a filmmaker has a sort of cool factor, a little sex appeal to it, because you're out and about, going to different places, you're interacting with actresses, and it has a little bit of a panache to it. I get that. But even still, because I have that going on, I have something to talk about, something I know about, and I can speak to it in a fun way. Like, oh, I had the shoot today, and we had to work with this dog, and it was just going crazy. It would not sit still. We're giving it treats all day. It was shitting all over the floor because of it. You know, funny stuff like that you can then talk about, right? Something interesting. Having your life mission and purpose will keep you intriguing and keep your life going. Now let's go a more difficult route, because maybe that's too easy. Let's say you are an accountant, okay? And I don't know anything about being an accountant, but everyone always talks about how this is boring and dry. And maybe it is, I don't know. But there's gotta be the way I look at it is there's always something interesting about everything. You gotta pinpoint what that is. So, you know, if you're managing the numbers of such and such a business, there's always going to be a way to talk about it in a cool, interesting way, you know, and maybe it's just about the people that you work with, maybe something funny about them. So regardless of what you do, maybe you're a garbage man, maybe you're a plumber, you can make it interesting. You can shift your viewpoint to make it sound interesting. I mean, garbage man, I think it actually would be very interesting because you're seeing all sorts of crazy stuff that people throw out. But the accountant one, I think, is tough because, like I said, I don't know enough about it to even make shit up off the top of my head right now. But I could imagine saying something like, oh my God, my boss always wears these funny shoes. There's these green sneakers. He comes in here, just racing around the office, always in a panic. So again, you build an image of something in your girl's mind, just coming up with little fun stories like that. So having a life mission and purpose, getting good at talking about stories, or getting good at relaying stories, and always being able to see something interesting no matter what situation you're in. These things build intrigue and give you an edge. And not that this isn't for cheating prevention. These are simply ways that you can develop yourself into being a man that no one wants to let go of. A woman's going to be like, man, I don't want to let go of this guy. He's fun, you know, and you have to be able to pull out an emotional response from her, because that's going to make her feel things, and they need to feel something. If you're boring, if you're a guy who doesn't have anything going on, so you don't have anything to talk about, that's gonna be boring. So it's gonna make you less attractive. If you do have a life mission and purpose and you just say everything exactly, like, for example, I can make directing sound super boring. I could say like, okay, so today I went to set and I talked with the cameraman and we set up the shots and we picked out the lenses and I used a 24mm lens. I mean, that sounds fucking boring. Something as sexy as directing, and now all of a sudden I've made her fall asleep. Right? Instead, you need to learn how to explain it in a fun way. Like, so for example, if I was doing the same story about the directing thing, like, oh god dang, it's like I got to set today and did you know what the first thing I saw was? The craft services table. They had the best snacks, the chocolate covered cherries that I love. The girl had bought me a pack just for myself, and I definitely was not about to share those with anybody. I put those in my pocket and boom, I was ready to direct. So I'm not even talking about directing. It's just like, it's the attitude that you have. And let's say I'm talking about something dry and boring like a lens. I could say to my girl, if she doesn't know anything about filmmaking, be like, hey, yeah, we picked up this lens. You know those lenses that make are super wide that you can see everything, like on the iPhone? Yeah, we had to use one of those lenses today. And when the actor came up to it, his face looked like a cartoon. It was hilarious. And so you can start to describe it in ways like that make it more relatable, that make it more entertaining. I'm not gonna tell her what millimeter lens it is or what kind of glass, or don't get specific, don't get technical. That's when people lose interest. And because a lot of guys, they're more that minded, they're into stats, numbers, data, technical specs, all that stuff. It's just boring. It's not that interesting. You gotta hit the juicy stuff, okay? If you're talking to someone like, oh yeah, we have the hottest actress on set today, god damn, like she was super, super hot. She nailed every line. She was really good too. Like I thought she was gonna be tripping up her lines, but no, she nailed them. She came prepared. I was impressed. You know, something like that where it's making it more entertaining, more of a story. If you can do this, I mean, I just think that worrying about cheating, if you're that worried that a girl's going to cheat on you, it's like there's something else going on with you. If you're focusing all your energy on if they're going to cheat on you or not, then you need to get your own life going, and you shouldn't be hanging out with girls like that. If she's really risky, why put yourself in that position? If she's a super hot girl that and she gets a lot of attention from other men, then you just need to be a man that's better than all the rest. And this might sound really cocky, but that's how I think. I know I'm not the most attractive man in the world. I know I'm not the smartest. I know I'm not the richest. I know I'm not the tallest. But in my mind, I'm like, try to find someone who's as fun and someone who knows as much about men and women as I do, that can lead you through a relationship in a good way. A guy who's gets shit done, but is also very introspective and can think about things. I'm like, go ahead and try to find somebody like that. Hey, if you do, then that's awesome, you know. But you have to. I walk into it with that attitude, and I don't say it all the time, but I just believe that I do offer a lot. So if a girl really wants to cheat, then all right, you go for it. I mean, I can't stop her, and if she really wants to, then hey, do your thing. But to think about, oh, what can I do? I got to make sure I'm not doing anything that she's going to cheat on me. I would never think like that. You're living in fear, and that's going to come off on your body language. And more than likely, you're going to end up doing things that somehow inadvertently and subconsciously force her to cheat on you. Wayne Dyer says, what you think about becomes real. I think that's what he said. What you focus on expands. And that's very true. If you're focusing on her cheating all the time, well, guess what? You're going to slowly steer yourself towards that direction. But if you think to yourself, hey, she's lucky to have a dude like myself, then you're going to act accordingly because you see yourself in a different way. You think, hey, I'm a fun guy. I'm not perfect, and I know that, but I'm a pretty decent dude. I have a good time. I know a thing or two about relationships, and hey, I'm pretty confident that you're gonna have a good time. Now that's how I think in my mind. But if I thought to myself, oh my God, like she's gonna cheat on me, I just know it. She's gonna think some other guys are way better than me, way more handsome. I'm just a sitting duck. I'm just waiting for her to just, call me up and say, hey, it's over. Just think about how you're gonna behave. I mean, you can see it just even in my body language and the way my facial expressions are when I think and talk like that. So how do you stay interesting? Well, like I said, be interesting. Have things going on in your life. If you don't, you can't be interesting. So cultivate those things. Follow your passions and don't give them up just because you get a girlfriend. Stay with them always. Those are things that are going to be by your side forever, regardless if she's in your life or not. So here's the question that I have then for you guys. Has a girl cheated on you before? I mean, has that girl ever stepped out on you before? That's the first question. The second question is, how did you find out? And then, what did you do about it? If you're comfortable sharing it in the comments, do so. If you're not comfortable, but still want me to know, send me an email. And if you have a question about it, I will answer it like I'm doing in this video. So emails, go to info@thesophisticatedscoundrel.com. So if you want to share with me your personal story of, if a girl cheated on you, send me a message. I'd love to read it, and I can potentially dissect it in a video just like this one. All right. So that's it for this episode of Speak with Scoundrel. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and hang out. We have some fun around here. I introduce pop culture things on some of my other segments, and we're going to do more here in 2024. So cheers to you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.